In today's video, I want to talk about something that might be of concern to employees in particular, but obviously it'll be of indirect consequence to employers. I have seen on my Facebook page, and my Facebook page has nearly 20,000 fans or followers or whatever they're called on Facebook, and I've seen a lot of comments about WRC, the Workplace Relations Commission, being biased, essentially being biased towards the employer, and the employee is not going to get a fair shake, won't get a fair hearing. I've seen comments like WRC is crap of employers' weapons, a complete shower of pricks, told me I was off my head to go home, the WRC weren't much use to Tesco staff, biggest mistake anyone can make is to go to the WRC, kangaroo court at best, the WRC are worthless, they weren't much use to me either, absolutely wasted my time. You might be on the fence about bringing a claim to the WRC, the Workplace Relations Commission. You may think from reading comments such as those that you're not going to get a fair hearing or that it's biased towards employers. I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. I'm a solicitor and I have no great axe to grind for either employer or employee or for the Workplace Relations Commission or the Labour Court. I simply do a job and I represent my client to the best of my ability. My client is either an employer or an employee. If they pay, I represent them and I do my best, but I can assure you from my experience that the Workplace Relations Commission hearings are fair, the adjudicators know the law, and they will give you a fair hearing provided your case stands on its own 2 feet, provided you can prove the facts of your case, provided you can prove a breach of the law or a breach of a statutory entitlement or a breach of your contract or a breach of some right of yours as per the contract of employment. But essentially, disappointed people will inevitably feel hard done by. They'll feel that the deck was loaded against them. They'll feel that they weren't going to get a fair hearing at the WRC. As I say, that's not true. That is not the case. The WRC will and have recently, in fact, in 2 cases that I have written about on my website, employmentrightsireland.com. I'm looking there at 2 recent cases, one of which I was involved in, and where my client, the complainant, was brought a claim for sexual harassment and was awarded €30,000. Another case, relatively recently as well, decision published in the last few weeks, the employee was awarded €38,000 for indirect discrimination. I've written about both of these cases on my website, employmentrightsireland.com. If you care to go to the website, you'll see the decisions themselves. There's a link in the blog post to the actual decisions. But the bottom line is that if you have a case, if you have a legitimate claim, if there is a legitimate breach of an employment right, and provided you can present your case well, and provided you prove the facts and prove the law, in other words, prove that there's been a breach, if you can do that, then you will win your case, and there's no question of bias. Now, from time to time, you may get a decision from an adjudicator with which you won't agree, or that you might think was irrational or perverse, but by and large, the decisions I find are rational, are well-grounded in logic, well-grounded in the law, and most or all of, practically all of the hearings I've been involved in have been fair, and both sides, both parties have had an opportunity to present their case, and the decision then is the decision. Inevitably though, if somebody brings a claim and they lose, they're going to have a particular view, they're going to be disappointed, that's understandable, they're going to be dismayed, that's understandable, but if you were playing football or playing hurling or playing soccer or playing rugby or playing anything and you lose, then the first thing you might consider doing is blaming the ref. But on mature reflection, as it were, you might look back and think, well, maybe it wasn't all down to the ref. Maybe it was we weren't good enough. Maybe we didn't play well enough on the day. And it's a similar situation with the WRC and bringing your claim. You may have facts and the law on your side, or you may not. You may have a sense of grievance or unfairness, but you may not be able to prove legal entitlement that has not been granted to you, or a breach of your entitlements, breach of your rights. If you cannot do that, then inevitably, if the WRC adjudicator is going to be fair, they will have to find in favour of the employer. So that's the situation. I hope you find this video useful. If you do, you might give it a thumbs up down below, and if you want to subscribe, then obviously I make videos every week, publish them on YouTube on a Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. If you want to ensure that you are notified, just hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell, and if you hit the bell icon, you'll get a notification. Thanks for watching.